They never talk say waka small. Man no dey know. You understand no? One day na one day. One day na one day. I want first play una something. Before I want play I want tell you say this video go long. It go long if it take up to 20 minutes. But it be very important, a very important message where it come. Message from the European Union where they bring am for now. And I want to say this will make you take your time, you watch am. You know say this so no matter say the fact say you feel it cry. Some man know they can't help you. Some man know they want no man know they help you. You don't mean that some people know they hear you cry. Time will come where some person go ask and say, but that picking the cry, now wait. And when they will ask and so if no man no reply, they can look wait where they picking the cry. Atanga Nji Paul they be talk say wait. No problem, no they know. I'm gonna say here Atanga Nji version. Around 2016, 2017. Very short at the camp.
Let me give Minister Atanga Nji a voice on this. Your position is clear, it's known.
Yes.
That there is no Anglophone problem.
Yes.
You've constantly repeated that.
Yes, and I will say it. I said it yesterday. I'm saying it today. I will say it tomorrow. There is no Anglophone problem in Cameroon. And I've given facts to justify what I say. Prof has said something which is important. He says that an Anglophone has never been a Minister of Defense in Cameroon. Then Reverend Father said that Reverend Father Pastor said that.
Your man say problem no day. Say if he give facts. If he give facts, where one fact na say you know if you go stay for Abakwa. You know if you go stay for Bamenda no. If you go stay for it. If you go stay for it, you know to be camp on the 8th of December 2016 they be doing no. You know to be candidate do it. You know no. You just say you know no. You know. So I want now the things that I'm gonna the year no. Not be only Atanga Nji be talk anyway. Family don't go be talk their own. Cheruma be say, how can you say that? Una no Cheruma no. If be talk that one. Laurent and so they be talk their own. Una be year. All of them, you heard what they said. Now, I want to play some recent outing. I want to play you way. You go watch them. If you watch this one, it not spur you up. If you watch this one, you know tickle your mind. If you watch this one, then you start you still start talk say when I carry down an Ambazonian. If you watch this one, then you still use it kind of statement. It means say this so true. When you go see freedom, you know go like them. Yes, true, you know go like them. Take your time, watch them.
Thank you very much. Let me give the floor to the next speaker, author Madame Arana, s'il vous plaît.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Au Cameroun, après le référendum constitutionnel de 1972, le système du gouvernement fédéraliste garantissant la représentation des 20% d'anglophones a été abandonné au profit d'un système centralisé qui donne l'avantage aux francophones. Depuis, les anglophones au Cameroun souffrent d'une marginalisation accrue qui n'a fait que s'empirer. En 2016, les enseignants et avocats de la région du sud-ouest et nord-ouest anglophones se mettent en grève car ils estiment que le gouvernement majoritairement francophone tente de réduire le système de common law et l'enseignement pratiqué en anglais dans ces régions. La réaction du gouvernement Biya est sans appel, une réponse militaire dure qui fait émerger les mouvements séparatistes et manifestations violentes. S'enclenche alors une spirale violente entre le gouvernement sourd à des revendications légitimes et s'engageant à détruire tous ceux qui veulent diviser la nation, et une radicalisation des mouvements séparatistes anglophones qui s'arment contre le pouvoir francophone de Yaoundé et qui répriment tous ceux qui afficheraient une non-affiliation à leur cause. Les victimes, comme toujours, la population civile massacrée, 3000 morts, privée d'écoles, obligée de fuir, plus d'1 million de déplacés aujourd'hui au Cameroun. Actuellement, ce gouvernement Biya refuse toujours de prendre en compte les demandes d'éléments modérés pour un retour au fédéralisme qui accorderait aux régions une plus grande autonomie. Et les séparatistes, par ailleurs divisés, campent sur leur demande d'indépendance. Nous avons aujourd'hui un certain nombre de revendications. Nous demandons une aide humanitaire, nous demandons également qu'un dialogue puisse s'établir et nous demandons que le service d'action extérieure aide à aller dans ce sens. Merci.
Merci. Let me invite next speaker, author Mr. Andrews. The floor is yours.
Madam President, Commissioner, colleagues. 2 weeks ago, 7-year-old Brandy Tatau was shot and killed by a police officer while walking home from school in Bamenda, a city in northwest Cameroon. Brandy is just one of thousands of young girls who are the utterly innocent victims of the armed conflict in Cameroon over the past 5 years. The forced schools boycott in the Anglophone regions has exposed children to child recruitment by terrorist organisations, forced labour, forced childhood marriage and sexual abuse. Children make up 28% of all cases of gender-based violence in Cameroon, and 13% of girls are married before the age of 15. Today we mark the International Day of Violence Against Women. The case of Cameroon reminds us that women and young girls continue to be systematically used as pawns in power struggles across the world. Of course, in order to protect women and girls in Cameroon, we need an immediate ceasefire and for both sides to initiate peace talks without further delay. First and foremost, we must protect life. But the only surefire way to ensure that the human rights of women, girls and others are upheld in Cameroon is to have effective legal safeguards. And that is why Renew insisted on strong emphasis on the rule of law in this urgency resolution. To protect human rights, you need functioning courts, robust, proportionate laws, and international recourse. This is the responsibility of the Cameroon government, and it is also the European Union's responsibility as strategic partners of Cameroon to exert the necessary pressure to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me invite next speaker, author Mr. Corrao. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioner and colleagues. As you know, Cameroon is beset with 2 violent conflicts and went from peaceful protests to war. The escalation of violence has led to a number of simultaneous political and security challenges and to a high level of instability, which the people of Cameroon are now facing. This is very deplorable and frustrating. Armed groups and the government force committed widespread human rights abuses, including extrajudicial or summary execution and mass killings. This has resulted in 80% of schools in the 2 Anglophone regions being closed or destroyed, and 700,000 students are denied education. We also see that ethnic tensions are rising, with political speech turned into hate speech based on ethnicity and gender discrimination, which is taking place in an atmosphere of terror in the region, including targeted attacks on students, teachers, but also journalists and humanitarian workers. All this is very concerning, and the European Union needs to respond strongly. It is no longer possible to ignore this conflict, and the situation is increasingly deteriorating. We need to mediate for an immediate ceasefire, calling on both sides to the conflict to cease purposefully targeting civilians, schools and children, which deprives them of the right to education. It is also time that we make use of all the financial instruments provided by development aid or other programs as a political leverage, using them to enhance the defense of human rights in a country that is suffering since too long. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me give the floor to the next speaker, author Mrs. Bilde. The floor is yours.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Je l'avais souligné en 2019, la crise anglophone au Cameroun se prête mal à des simplifications outrancières. Et si l'on s'entend sur ces aspects les plus tragiques, les nombres de réformes entreprises depuis son déclenchement sont, elles, souvent occultées. Qu'il s'agisse de la création en 2017 d'une commission nationale pour la promotion du bilinguisme et du multiculturalisme, du recrutement de professeurs et de magistrats anglophones ou encore du grand dialogue national et du statut accordé en 2019. Occulter l'attitude des leaders de l'agitation anglophone des régions du Nord et du Sud-Ouest, dont beaucoup résident aux États-Unis et en Europe, l'est également, puisque certains auraient rejeté l'ensemble de toute discussion avec le gouvernement. Du reste, cette insurrection se fonde-t-elle uniquement sur des considérations d'ordre linguistique et culturel? Nombre d'anglophones vivent, après tout, dans des régions qui ne le sont pas, dans ce pays à 80% francophone. La revendication de certains anglophones, s'agissant de leur représentation au sein de sociétés pétrolières, pourrait de son côté être symptomatique de motivations économiques sous-jacentes. Gardons-nous de crier haro sur le Cameroun, à plus forte raison à l'heure où le terrorisme islamiste semble en passe d'embraser toute l'Afrique centrale. On n'insistera jamais assez, en effet, sur le lourd tribut payé par le pays dans sa lutte résolue contre l'État islamique et Boko Haram sur son sol et au-delà, dans le cadre de la force multinationale mixte et du partenariat transsaharien. S'il s'ajoute l'accueil, dans certaines circonstances difficiles, de plusieurs centaines de milliers de réfugiés nigérians et centrafricains. À l'heure où, en 2020, l'extrême nord camerounais aurait été cible de plus d'attaques de Boko Haram contre des civils, ou que le Nigeria, le Niger et le Tchad dans leur ensemble, le Cameroun, gage de stabilité dans une région sous tension, a besoin de notre soutien, pas de nos anathèmes. Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup. Let me invite now, on behalf of the group of European People's Party, Mr. Kelly. The floor is yours.
In recent months, the Anglophone crisis has entered a new phase, with a drastic escalation of violence in the English-speaking regions. Having acquired more sophisticated weapons, clashes between Anglophone separatist armed groups and Francophone government security forces have increased in frequency and severity. Furthermore, a total lack of investigation and prosecution for crimes committed by both sides has created a climate of impunity. The impact of this crisis on civilians has been devastating, with over 3,000 lives lost to date. My colleague Barry Andrews indicated one a few moments ago. A huge casualty in this conflict has been education, as separatists have chosen schools as their bases and camps and enforced a vicious boycott, depriving 700,000 children of their right to education. The response to the urgency has been a military one, with troops deployed in the Anglophone regions since 2016. Instead, there should be a strong focus on dialogue and accountability for the crimes committed on both sides in the Anglophone regions. I urge the European Union, along with the African Union and United Nations, to continue to work to end this catastrophe through mediation.
When I don't watch channel, you don't hear to that woman talk. I don't want to talk plenty. I go me small time. I need to talk plenty. I want to go myself small time. I don't get plenty for talk because those people they have spoken, they've talked so much, you know. And I tell you something. Some of our brothers and sisters, they are angry. Some people are angry that how could the European Union be talking about this issue in this manner? How could they be saying that there's violence on both sides, the human rights abuses on both sides, and blah blah blah? All this. Is it a lie? It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. And we know those among us who are causing this problem to tell you guys that people are watching. The fact that nobody is talking or nobody was talking doesn't mean that they were not watching. They were watching. People are watching. I don't always tell you now, be careful the way you can't talk for this media. Be careful the way you do one. Because people then they watch you. Time will come when they will call you, say, oh boy, come for here. They play a video. You stand for this. So, oh, now they can't come out 13 people. They can't come out talk this thing, talk that one, talk that one. I don't hear. In a whole parliament, she don't talk. When I don't see them, so people that can't say this, oh yes, European Union and them pull for inside auditing. Yes, we know that them pull. But when I don't see and say this, so as time don't go on, people that they understand what direction. No. People that they understand and say these people they wait to be their problem. And when I hear people the way they talk about the root cause, that means they talk about wait to be the problem. There are two things here. There is a root cause and there is an immediate cause. What is the immediate cause? Immediate cause means the things that spark up, you know, like bad roads, you know, poor treatment of people, poor judicial system, bribery, corruption. Those are the immediate causes of the problem. which means that you cannot solve these immediate causes unless you go to the root causes. It is because of the root causes that we are now talking about, because of the immediate causes, sorry, that we are now talking about the root causes of the issue. And it has gotten to this level. People are watching. Now, what do the people want? That is the question. What do they want? Okay. Let the people vote. It will come to that. It will come for that level. It will come for that level. Where all man are ground zero. All man are ground zero. All man are ground zero. For go vote. When they talk a history, no. I beg. When I share the video, me that boy the me they watch him. Me they watch him. Yes. When I share me they watch him. They don't know say this so we stand up for solid rock. Yeah, we stand up for solid rock. When I share me that boy the watch him. We don't have the right track. When I hear. Now European Union that they don't talk about it. I don't hear no. My country don't clear now because I know if you get update, I no can tell now. When I get update, I can give now. I don't see no. Me, I need the create thing. I need the can lie or I can do propaganda. If the thing never happen, I no go talk at me. When it happen, what a good one, no, I go talk am. What a bad one, no, I go still talk am. I owe you when you watch me the truth. That's the only thing I owe you. Apart from that, I don't owe you anything. And you, wait till you owe, you don't owe me anyway. I know, I bet me I owe you for talking the truth. Yes. But if you think say this, so wait till you want if they okay, or you be say this, so no, it makes sense. Just share the video to 1-2 groups. People they watch and me they get the information. Information is power. We don't only give information in this platform. We educate. Education, information. Thank you very much and have a nice time. My name is Fabian Beku, your activist.